And that would obviously be already knowing it. You'd have to know Arabic already. I'm talking about just learning grammar and things like that. Sarf is a little more difficult because the vocabulary of Arabic is very extensive and it's very complicated. You have a lot of different ways of saying the same roots, but different things that change the meaning. So that's a little more complicated. But Nahw is not that hard. They make it much harder than it actually is. And so the thing he ends with is وَآلَةٌ بِهَا الشُّرُوعِ. You begin with the ala. And the ala is the Arabic language. The tool of Islamic studies, the sine qua non of Islamic studies is the Arabic. You have to learn Arabic. You cannot study the Islamic tradition without Arabic. You can learn Islam without Arabic, undeniably. You can. You can learn it in English, you can learn it in Urdu, you can learn it in Turkish, and you might have a better understanding than a lot of Arabs. But you cannot learn this tradition or master this tradition without Arabic. It's as simple as that. And the Quran is an Arabic phenomenon. It's not an English phenomenon. It's not a Turkish phenomenon. It is an Arabic phenomenon. It can only truly be experienced in Arabic. When you translate the Quran, it really does change the experience of the Quran, which is why a lot of people, when they read the Quran in Arabic, they have a completely different experience from when they read it, say, in English. It's just a very different book. It also is a very, even for Arabs, it's a very subtle book. It takes a long time to really grasp the subtle nature of the Quran. One of the most common techniques in Quranic Arabic is what's called iltifat, which is very complicated for Western people. And the iltifat is where you switch, you go from a first person to a third person. And it's very jolting. And for when you translate that, because that is actually a technique, a rhetorical technique, that has an effect. So for instance, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu. It begins, that's iltifat, to go from Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So it's talking about, you're not talking directly to God in the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the Merciful, the Compassionate. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. So praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. So that's like speaking like a ghaib. You're not saying hamdan laka or ahmaduka. You're saying alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Maliki yawmiddin. Those are all. But then when you enter into the ubudiyya, you enter into the presence. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. So this is the way the Quran works. It's difficult for people to grasp these subtleties in another language. And then there's a lot of words in Arabic. For instance, the prophets, when they speak to their people, they always say, Ya qawmi, Ya qawmi, Ya qawmi. You look at the prophets. Whenever they speak to the people, they say, Ya qawmi. But Isa ibn Maryam, when he speaks to them, he says, Ya bani Israel. He doesn't say, Ya qawmi. Because qawm, you can only say qawm if your fathers are from those people. And in Sahih Muslim, the Prophet said, Afina gharib. And they said, so-and-so, he's from the akhwat. And he said, Ibn ukht al-qawm minhum. You know, so they knew that qawm, if somebody's not from the paternal lineage, he's not really from the qawm. And so Isa doesn't say Ya qawmi, he says Ya bani Israel. Because he can't say Ya qawmi, because he doesn't have a father from them. So that's something that you won't pick up in English. You have to know Arabic to do that. لا يسخر قوم من قوم ولا نساء من نساء. So it's qawm and nisa. It's two different things. The qawm are not the women. They're the male lineage. And that's why the Quran distinguishes with the qawm. Don't let the males make fun of other males, and don't let the women make fun of other women, like that. So